We can all look back like Moses, see mistakes we made, things we should have done better. It was our fault. We think we just have to live with it. But God is saying, I've already taken care of your mistakes. I've already dealt with your past. I've already defeated what should have stopped you. I've already moved the wrong people out of the way. Your mistakes did not stop your purpose. Don't sit on the sidelines of life thinking you can't fulfill your destiny. Look what I've done. Man, I didn't make good choices. I should have raised my child better. Should have finished school. Should have been more disciplined. Can I encourage you? All those that were after you are dead. This is a new day. God has forgiven your sins. He has mercy for your mistakes. Nothing you've done has to keep you from your purpose.
There is no way you would have made it to this present danger if I hadn't have done what I did yesterday. You wouldn't be blessed to have the problems that you have right now. And you should have known that this problem was no trouble for me, because the only reason I had you bring the scraps, I didn't bring them for you to eat them. I had you bring them so that you would remember where I brought you from and where I am able to take you to.
Look, man, if you got something that's been bothering you in your life, get past it. Don't lay there wallowing in your past, man. Your past is back there. You can't drive your car looking in the rearview mirror. If God wakes you up, it's a sign from God that he ain't through with you yet. As long as he got something for you, he keeps waking you up. Why don't you wake up to go see what that is?
You do not have enough strength to manage yesterday's pain. This is why you have arthritis and hypertension and sickness and affliction. You're aging before your time. This is why you got to take a pill to get to bed, a pill to get up in the morning. You are carrying too much. You're loaded down with your mama's problems, your sister's problems, your kids' problems, your friends' problems, problems on your job. You're carrying all of that, and you go over and over and over. God said, let it go. Tell somebody, say, just let it go. You're carrying too much. You got too much weight on you. You're 40 years old, still upset about who didn't raise you, who wasn't there for you, what your mama said about you. She always liked your sister better than you. And you sit up there 50 years old, grieving over something that happened when you were 8. That's why your relationships are failing, because you have never divorced yourself.
So often, our mind is either in the past, focused on what didn't work out, mistakes we've made, or it's in the future, worried about our finances. What if my health doesn't improve? The problem with being in the past or being in the future is you will miss the present. Today is a gift from God. Are you fully engaged, loving your family, appreciating the simple things in life? Or are you in yesterday? The reason some relationships are not healthy is you came home from work, but you didn't really show up. Your mind was somewhere else. Or you went to the office, your body was there, but your mind was in yesterday, thinking about what you should have done better. If you're going to be fulfilled, you have to be there when you get there. Not show up and be in the past, live in regrets. Come into today. Yes, it's good to have goals, but you can't be so focused on what's next that you miss what you have right now. I know people that lost what they had going after what they wanted. You can miss who your spouse is, all the great things about them, because you're so consumed with your business, with how you're going to fix that problem. But the people in your life are not always going to be there. Don't take them for granted. When you're with your family, give them your time. Life goes so fast. At home, you're present. You eat dinner with the family, but are you connected? Enjoy where you are. Take time for the people God's given you. The problems will resolve in God's timing. Worrying about them doesn't make it work out any sooner. The people in your life can bring you great joy, great fulfillment. When you're present and connected, life is very rewarding. Are you taking time to laugh together, to do new things? How many people are in the house, but they're really not home? Sometimes the reason we're not connected, I realize it is the past. Past failures, what they said, how they treated us. As long as you're in the past, you'll stay disconnected. This is a new day. God's mercy is fresh every morning. Come into the present. Life is too short to hold on to hurts.
Let's suppose that there's a vast, hugely powerful force that nobody can withstand. And this immense force is always active and in furious motion. It never rests. It's like a slowly flowing river that can eventually carve the Grand Canyon out of solid rock. But that comparison doesn't really do it justice. The force I'm talking about is much more formidable than any river or ocean or glacier or any other natural phenomenon. Now, in trying to achieve your life's goals, would you prefer to fight against this great force? Would you want to struggle against this mighty power that has all the odds overwhelmingly in its favor? Or would you rather enlist this great power in your cause and make the inevitable work for you instead of against you? Take your time before answering. Think it over. By the way, time is that great power I'm talking about. Time is the mightiest force in the world, or even in the universe. Of course, the answer to the question I posed is very obvious. Why would you ever choose to fight time when you could have time on your side? Who wouldn't want to harness the great river of time that flows through all of life? Why wouldn't you want to use the power of time to generate power in every area of your existence? To turn the turbines of your hopes and dreams, to charge your every aspiration with lightning bolts of electricity? Well, there is only one way to make time work for you, not against you, and that's with patience.
No matter who you're in relationship with, no matter how good of a person they are, at times they're going to disappoint you. Focus on their good qualities. Focus on the reasons you fell in love. When you were dating, that person could do no wrong. When Victoria and I were dating, I would go anywhere with her. She could have said, let's go see this electrical plant. I would have gone. It's not what we were doing, it's who I was doing it with. She had my full attention. Over time, life can happen. We face challenges, pressures at work. It's easy to let that press us down. We become sour. We don't enjoy our spouse anymore. We have a list of all the things they've done wrong. The easy way out is to disconnect. God didn't put that person in your life by accident. Don't wait till they're gone till you recognize what you had. Get plugged in. Don't hold grudges. You're a team. Make your partner better. Encourage them. Help them to reach their dreams. All the negative things in the news, it's easy to become sour, heavy. Keep that tension out of your home. Your home should be a place of peace, a place of joy. When your mind is in the past, you can't enjoy the present. When you're focused on the hurts, what they said, it's going to keep you from the beauty of this day.
There's a type of person for whom everything is undertaken out of desire to achieve a goal. They prepare food in order to eat it, not just for the fun of being in the kitchen. They start a business in order to make money. They exercise in order to get in shape. I am sure that some of these people are very successful and they are certainly highly organized. But in my opinion, a person of truly strong character sees success as an adventure, not as a point with an estimated time of arrival. The latter approach to me is impatient thinking. Impatient thinking can lead a person into some very big mistakes. First of all, when you are always looking somewhere else, whether it's down the road or up toward the top of the mountain or off toward the left field fence where you're hoping to hit that grand slam home run, when you're looking off in the distance like that, you often miss what's under your very own nose. That means the pleasure and fun of living which come in the here and now get overlooked for something that not only isn't here yet, but might never arrive. True patience is more than just a waiting game. Patience doesn't mean you sit around hoping for something to happen. Patience is not a passive quality. Sometimes patience can mean doing something else entirely, thinking about another venture, taking off in a different direction, while you give events a chance to run their course, where you can try anything you want in order to hurry things up, but Things just aren't going to hurry. In fact, there's only one thing that will work, and that is patience. It's strange, but young people have a much more difficult time with patience than people who have more experience in the world. It seems like the older people get, the more able they are to wait, despite the fact that sometimes they have considerably less time to wait in. You could argue that older people ought to learn how to act quickly and decisively, while younger people need to learn how to wait. When you're young, you really have just about all the time in the world, and you just can't wait to use it. For a young person to have patience is a rare and powerful thing. How can we explain that impatience of the young? Maybe it's because when you're a teenager or in your early 20s, 1 year seems like a very long time. 5 years seems like forever, and 10 years is almost more than you could possibly imagine. But more mature individuals can actually look back 10 or 20 or even 30 years, and they can use the knowledge they've gained to create patience and a sense of perspective. At the risk of confusing you, I'm going to make what may sound like a contradictory statement. Here it is. A patient man is always richer than an impatient one, even if the patient man has less money. What do I mean by that statement? Well, riches and wealth can take other forms besides dollars and cents. Okay, that sounds good. So in what sense is the patient man richer? The actual answer is very simple. A patient man is always richer than the impatient one because the patient man can always afford to wait. The patient man is never desperate. The patient man has time to spare, while the man in a hurry is always on the verge of bankruptcy as far as time is concerned. In any situation you can think of, impatience is a source of weakness and fear, while patience is substance and strength. And here's another way that patience gives the person who has it an incalculable advantage over the person who doesn't, and gives him deeper insight into himself and others, which is a mark of great character. If you can only see the short term, if you can only think in terms of the here and now, then you are like a man with one eye. You can't judge distances. You live in a world that's flat and two-dimensional. In other words, the impatient person lacks all sense of perspective. Perspective lets you measure your plans and current events against things that have already occurred, and also against your desires and aspirations for the future. Then and now, here and there, near and far, need and know, watch and wait. These are the dual optics that allow the patient man to see in stereo, where the nearsighted person sees only the present, or the dreamer sees only an imaginary future, and more likely than not, trips over his mistakes trying to get there. The history of this century can tell us a great deal about the value of patience. And perspective. History proves that time is the strongest ally you can possibly have, no matter what the odds against you or the level of adversity you're facing. Time gives strength to those who have it on their side. The odd thing is, sometimes waiting for years is easier than it is to wait for a few days or even a few minutes. None of us felt too strained because we had to wait 12 years to go through grammar school, middle school, and high school before getting out. Or at least the first 11 and a half years didn't strain my patience, but asked me to wait 45 minutes for a plane flight, or 20 minutes in the waiting room of a dentist's office. And if you catch me on the wrong day, it's almost more than I can handle. We all find ways to wait for the next paycheck, but how many can wait patiently in a checkout line in a crowded supermarket? How many people can stand and wait quietly for an overdue train on a railroad platform? It's as though there are two kinds of patience. The kind that sets you up for the long term and gives you the promise of a better and richer day after tomorrow. Then there's the other kind, the sort of patience that helps you remain sane and sociable while you're waiting in line or watching the clock or waiting for a pot of water to boil. These kinds of patience, so different and yet so much the same, meld into your character and have a fundamental effect on your physical constitution. Any doctor will tell you that it's better for you and everyone around you if you don't get exasperated with little things, if you don't fly off the handle at every annoyance and stick in your way. It keeps your blood pressure down and your friends and neighbors happy if you can greet life's little problems with equanimity and patience, because almost all problems can be solved if only you take the time to see them and think them through. That's very easy to understand and it's very easy to say, but it takes strong character to put it into practice. I'm never sure what to think when people say, I want to make $1 million by the time I'm 40, or I want to retire by the age of 45. This combination of goals plus deadlines strikes me as short-sighted and maybe even a bit naive. It takes a worthwhile goal and subjects it to an imposed timetable. While you might have an idea of what $1 million would mean to you, or you might have really exciting plans for your life after you hang up the tie and business suit, I don't see how a person can reasonably expect to know who or what he will be or think or feel at some arbitrary moment in the future. This kind of thinking misses the whole point of success. The real payoff in financial and worldly success isn't the result of an amount of money divided by the age you are when you get it, or some other actuarial formula. The real payoff is found in the qualities of character you develop along the way.
Someone may have done you wrong, but you can't stay in yesterday and enjoy today. You have to forgive, show mercy, and move forward. I know there are real issues, but living in strife, holding grudges, not forgiving, that's keeping you from the new things God has in store. Learn to enjoy where you are while you're on the way to where you're going. Life is not about the destination, it's about the journey. That's where you'll see fulfillment, the favor of God. Because after you reach this goal, there'll be another goal. If we're not careful, we'll rush through the day trying to get to the destination. Slow down and enjoy the journey. Yes, there will be bumps in the road, things you don't understand. That's where you have to say, I'm not looking back. I'm not going to live worried, wondering how it's going to work out. I'm going to enjoy where God has me right now, knowing that He will get me to where I'm supposed to be. But Joel, I'm worried because I don't see how my situation could ever work out. You're not supposed to. You have to trust that God is in control, that He's planned out all of your days, that He knows what's best for you. Instead of fighting where you are, learn to embrace where you are. I don't want you to get 10 years down the road and think, man, If I'd known it's going to turn out this good, I would have enjoyed my life. I would have enjoyed raising my children. I talked to a lady. She had worked as an executive for this large company. She had been there 19 years when she was unexpectedly let go. She was disappointed, but she knew something else would open up. She has 2 master's degrees, a leader in her field. She applied to company after company, but no response. No one was interested. A couple of months after she lost her job, her mother became ill, needed someone to take care of her. Every day she would go to her mother's house. They would visit and run errands. She had so much fun with her mother. 10 months later, her mother passed. 3 days after she laid her mother to rest, she started getting one phone call after another. Not one offer, but 4 great offers came in. She accepted a position with more income, better environment. Look at how God works. That closed door, that doesn't make sense. She could have been sour, lived upset. Why is this happening? But she made this choice to not live in the past, to not live in the future. Why won't anything open up? What if I can't find a job? Instead, she took that time to enjoy where God had her. She embraced where she was, believing that God was directing her steps. Had she not done that, she would have missed that time with her mother. Don't fight where you are, embrace where you are. Make the most of each day. Yes, she was disappointed that she was let go, but don't let the past keep you from seeing the good things in your life right now.